What happens when you get a really good upcoming manager and a newly relegated club together that have ambitions to bounce back to the Premier League at the first time of asking? Well, you get disaster, because Southampton under Will Still have not been good enough, picking up 2 wins after an absolute dismal Premier League season, and now sit near the bottom of the Championship. Pressure's building on Will, as Will still be in charge of Southampton soon? Well, in this career mode, he's not going to be, because I'm taking over Southampton in a classic rebuild, taking them to the Champions League. As yes people, Ilmax here, I am getting a little under the weather, as we have a team here of Southampton players, of course, that has really drastically changed after their abysmal last season in the Premier League. We've still got the likes of Stevens, Wood and Harwood-Bellis. Wellington back from his loan. We've got Flynn Downs, Shea Charles. What looks on paper to be a very interesting team. A lot of reserves, including Tom Fellows. Didn't even know he'd made the move over there. And this Brazilian striker in Skenza, or however you say it. Ramsdale still out on loan, same as Brereton Diaz and Sugawara after relegation. But overall, this Saints team is really good, and I cannot believe the position it's in the league. Almost relegated to League One, which is something Luton did. They went from the Premier League to League One straight off. However, Southampton shouldn't be doing it, and I haven't gone ahead and used life points. We are 19th in the league, which is round about where they are in real life. And the budget sits at 20 million, so we should get going. As like I said, Will's still under pressure, so in this rebuild, we have sacked him. And I've brought in myself, and this formation just cannot stick. Who does he think he is? Ruben Amorim. We're going to change it to the 4-2-3-1 wide. Don't know why that took so long to say. I was just trying to deep it as Adam Armstrong. I don't care the age of the players. I know some are old, but they're going to have to get working. As I'm going for ball-playing defenders, I'm going to stick with a bot crasher and a holding midfielder in Shea Charles. With this definitely not being my starting 11, still changes to be made to this. And honestly, the talent running through this squad is impeccable, actually. We've gone and put the Brazilian on the wing, as that team's a mix of age, but on the bench, one of the youngest benches I've seen in history. Archer, Dozier, Aribo's pretty old himself, and we've got Yander, Edwards, Wellington, and Jay Robinson. An Englishman, 18-year-old, brilliant potential, striker or cam, with even the newest signing, Damien Downs, on the bench, and that's why I started with no life points. Not necessarily to sell players, but to loan them out. We've got 5 on the loan list, including another new signing in Joshua Kwarshi, 6'5", and only 20 years old, as we've got a loan offer from a Prem club. Just shows the quality we've got in this team, but we've got to get it working. We've got to focus on ourselves first, as Joshua goes out on loan. I'd rather him play in the Prem and focus on our budget, improving the team we have, as Damien Downs even goes to a Premier League club for 2 years. Unbelievable. Yes, not growing the budget, still at that 20 million mark, but I am still not done with loaning, and one key player that Southampton lost last year was Tyler Diblin, their bright prospect, who Russell Martin valued at 100 mil, and they unfortunately didn't get from Everton, but we're going to try and produce our own youth. Isaac Leach could come back, but then again, we're getting Ramsdale next season. David Morley can try out on loan. I'm going to promote the players that are of age. Yeah, this year being a little bit different to usual starting years we have. Usually I'm going for the younger players to grow amongst the ones already in the squad. But this year I'm sending the youngsters out. He's going to Olympique Marseille. Big move alongside Robinson, Matsuki and Ronnie Edwards getting loan deals out, as I want a 74 rated plus midfielder at this moment. And there's Rafael Onyedika. He would cost the majority of our budget, so I'll ignore him for now. I'll go to the second tier of Spanish football, Dion Lopi. I love the little name. I love that he's got potential and play styles, as he's going to be the first signing. Only 4 mil, so not a big dent in the budget. Or should I say 4.7 mil. Still keeping Yander out of the team, because I think he is the same age, but this man's a competent CDM. And yes, we're still not done with the money. I think the budget shows we should be straight back in the Premier League, and it shows what a bad job Will Still has done. Really sorry to call out Will Still like that. I think he's a good manager. It's not a right fit, and this man potentially could be, as we're taking a gamble from Colo Colo over in Chile for Alan Saldivia, who I don't know much about. Obviously, I don't watch the Libertadores or Supercopa or whatever it was. Apologies, I don't remember it. But that league, and I watched the Southampton team a little bit in real life. Striking is where we're looking out, or not looking out. The rest of the team we are, with Yander stepping into midfield. So it looks like we have lost Downs, as although I did want to trust him, I didn't sign up his contract. Bench looks alright, Gellert. We've got Stevens who's played. The others don't look too good. As when you look at the contracts here, we've got Stewart, Fraser, McCarthy and Aribo all approaching or over 30. So we don't need them, especially with Shea Charles coming in. Then we've got Larios. Of course, we did have players out on loan before we actually sent out the ones we did. Armel Bella Kotchap as well. He's going to give the competition, as well as Smallbone, James Bree, Charlie Taylor, Prince Will. We've got 2 youngsters out already who were at the club. We've got Ramsdale to come back, same as Brereton Diaz. El Basir's done well away. I believe in China we got Wellington out on a loan because I trusted Ryan Manning, and also Robinson, and also Damian Downs. It's brilliant. As goalkeepers, we've definitely got too many good ones. Aaron Ramsdale, if we pay a little callback clause, I was hoping he'd go up in rating, but we've got to sell one of these 2. Or even go new, as Azaz got 16, Senzia got 14, Armstrong only 13. It's a lot of goals, but not from our strikers. And as I would have guessed, Flynn Downs left to go to Everton for almost 10 million. And despite all the improvement at the club, it's terrible. 11th in the championship. We should have been in those playoffs. Then again, it's better than IRL. Oh my days though. Oh my days. In our first season, Southampton have won the cup. We've actually beaten Manchester City. If I wasn't full of cold, I would be celebrating this like mad. We beat Everton with Flynn Downs. We beat Burnley on penalties. West Brom from our league. Bradford. I mean, we did get an easy run, Burton Albion, no offence, but that is a first season major honour, which is unfortunately not repeated because Tyler Diblin and Flynn Downs win the Carabao. We put no effort in there, we got beaten on penalties by Tranmere. But still, Southampton, mid-table, meh. We've got a lot of players coming back though, and we can sell them and get a big budget for Europe. That's right, I've just deeped it. We're going to be going into Europe, where Southampton were before, under Ronald Koeman? Or maybe Poch, I don't know. Leave a comment below if I'm wrong. And whilst you're down there, leave a like and subscribe, as we're on the race to 70,000 subscribers. Unreal. And if I only knew we were going to be in Europe, I could have kept the squad depth with Joel Aribo walking out of the training ground. At least we get all our loanies back though, and Casper Yander changing position. He's going to be a cam alongside Finn Azaz. And Will Smallbone can't go there. He actually can't go anywhere. Ooh, and Brereton Diaz is back. Now we can't forget we're a championship club aiming to get in the Premier League, not just win the Europa League. It would be nice, but we need to get our best squad together. No striker still, as Charles stays on the bench for now because Yander and Loppy are still young themselves. Fellow stays in the team. It is Sugawara and Brereton Diaz back into the lineup, although Brereton Diaz could be our striker. We could get Snenzia on the wing, but I still definitely want to make more quality signings. Aaron Ramsdale, like I said, I'm going to put him into the first team, and the amount of players we've got back makes me want to loan them out again to make sure players still continue to grow, as almost 30 mil this year. An extra 9 because we are going to the Europa League and they want a quarter final, alongside a decent run in the FA Cup, which obviously we just won, and gain automatic promotion. I'm sorry, that's got to be our main focus. As good as you winning the Europa League would be in the Championship, we can't dwell on it. We've got to try and get up there as a loan offer for Arsenal, or from Arsenal, sorry, for Casper Yander. Now that's got to be a reject. However, Bazunu, that's an extra 26 million from potentially a fellow Europa League team. And we've got another offer here. We're letting Armstrong go to Inter Miami, as he'll be best friends with David Beckham. But let's check our budget after them 2 offers have gone through, as Bazunu not too long after, and that 26 is going to go a long way, especially with us still having to loan players out. 56 is a Prem budget. It's a shame we're not a Prem team, but let's talk about where we're signing. I think for one season, until we reach reach the Prem, Brereton Diaz could cover as a striker. We do have on the bench as well Robinson and Archer. Robinson probably for a loan deal, but Archer I do want to keep around. So left mid I want to solve. And then maybe a younger keeper to go behind Aaron Ramsdale. I'm not going to rush around on this signing. No dilly-dallying. Nobody who's going to actually go into the first team over him, but someone who plays top division in Europe with Rosenborg. Sander Tangvik is 23 and signs a 5-year contract, so we know we've got him around for a while. As now on this bench, actually, would it be beneficial to keep Robinson? Probably not. He's going to need game time, so Smallbone's going to be a cam. Shay Charles is going to be a DM. Like I said, Diaz is going to be a striker. And Snezzy is going to drop to the bench, as we might not get everybody out on loan. So coaches, I'm going to spend madly on these, as I'm hoping players find loan moves, but that to me looks perfect now. As let's get back to loaning, but before that, let's get purchasing. You know I really want a left mid, but I'm not only going to sign a left mid. I'm going to sign a good one, don't get me wrong, in Mohamed Darami. I'm going to get him in, but then I'm going to get 2 quality players who have played in Europe before. In Leandro Barreiro, the CDM, 26 years old, and the striker that will go straight into the first team, Franco Ivanovic. As that's it, we have completely skinted our budget. If you add them 3 fees together, you will know we've cleared it out. With Jose Mourinho doing us a huge favour, selling us this man Ivanovic. He plays behind, what's the Greek striker? Pavlidis? I should know, I've already rebuilt them. And then Barreiro is another player we signed from them. 2 players used to playing in Europe, but obviously weren't in their first team. So they've come to the championship for a promotion and also for some game time. As when we swap it round, Darami didn't play, Yanda did, and also Snezia, who I know I'm probably butchering the name of. Brereton Diaz to a striker. That's a 79 rating, you know, very good. He's going to be our backup, maybe leading to the sale of some other players. Barreiro, 80 rated as a DM, and then Shay Charles, 78, good in the midfield. And in goal with Aaron Ramsdale, +7. Goalkeepers can go on for a long time. Loppy's done very well. Tom Fellows, Sugawara, Saldivia, the same. As yes, before we check goal scorers, I've still got a loan list full as my arm. I don't know why I said that. Joshua Quarashi, he is almost 75. Morley, I don't think will be the next Diblin. Maybe we sign a new Diblin in the future, but maybe a Dozier could be him. And Ronnie Edwards, he's been okay at Girona. With Fellows grabbing 31 goals, +6 for him. He's been brilliant, same as Ivanovic. And same as Brereton Diaz. I don't know if you saw there as well, over 60 games played, including playoff games, because 97 points, and we're not automatically promoted, which is scandalous. Obviously, we went into the Community Shield as well, winning the FA Cup. Hopefully a Premier League team facing Arsenal next year. Lost to them just there. And yep, we don't go back for back. The FA Cup isn't ours, although we did reach another semi-final. Trying to keep our trophy, but it is Chelsea on top in England. Of course, we're going to check the Europa League as we lose to West Brom on penalties. Not filling me with confidence for the playoffs, although we do hammer Norwich City. And there's the biggest achievement this season, winning in the Championship playoffs, meaning we will be in the Premier League. The Europa League is just that added bonus. Like I said, we don't really want to win it. We're not ready for the Champions League anyway. I wouldn't say no to it as we go unbeaten in the Europa League, but we don't need to win it. We don't need to win it, and we don't win it. Losing on penalties to Bruges. Oh, but it is still kind of harsh to take because I do feel this team is better than Bruges. Look at the ratings we've got here. We've got a lot of OGs doing well, like Manning. I had the idea of replacing him this season. He's 31, but he's 81 rated, and aside of him, don't know how he's the captain, but Bella Kotchap. Firstly, let's replace him as captain. I'm going to go, not Aaron Ramsdale. He actually walked out on the club. We're going to go Manning as the captain. I think that's fitting as we're going to sign a centre-back. Might look, well, I was going to say in the midfield, but I like how many options we've got. No, not there, not the highest rated. Oh, sorry, they're not the highest rated. That's the cold speaking, but got so many options. Robinson, Matsuki, Adozier, even Downs is back. The man that cost the Saints a pretty penny in the summer, I think I'm going to put on the transfer list, and I think I'm going to do the same with Archer. Long story short, this season we're going to be selling a bunch of players. As no Europa League this year, but still £72 million. Should go a long way, and forgive me Forgive me because I've just made him captain. However, Ryan Manny goes first because almost 50 mil to be Arsenal's backup. That's incredible money, and money I can't turn down as a lot of selling and loaning Dylan Moody. He needs to try and make his mood go in a positive direction with a lot of business getting done. Smallbone, Edwards, Robinson's got a loan, Matsuki. We've also sold Brereton Diaz. This isn't a championship club building up. This is a Europa League team aiming to get in the Europa League again. Or that's the mentality we've got to have, because even the players stepping in are good enough. But no, I want a centre-back especially, then a left-back, then somewhere else specially, where I can invest a lot of money into, like we did with Ivanovic last season. But let's get some quality defenders, shall we? That gets you the cup runs. Manning was a decent rating, and Svensson's a lot younger than him. So Svensson joins from BVB, but obviously he needs a centre-back next to him. And that'll be none other than Ousmane Diomande, the Ivorian. A big setup from Sociedad, so he's going to be a unit at the back for us, not left-footed, but still he's got a left footer at the side of him. Only 23-year-old, as I think to get another position in, we have to get one out, so out goes Skenza to Manchester United, as the player coming into his place is none other than Alex Baena. For the first season in the Premier League, signing from Atletico Madrid, one of their highest rated players, isn't really a bad move at all. He's just above Aaron Ramsdale, Ivanovic, Sugawara, and then Dion Lopi. I really like this guy. I just think he's happy with that little picture of him. Cheeky smile. Oh, so very cheeky, as we've got Ivanovic top of the goal scoring, then Baena, then Yander, +5 for him. And these ratings, I'm looking everywhere. They're brilliant. As surely this team has done very well in the Premier League season number 1. We don't want to just be avoiding relegation. We want Southampton challenging for the top, or not the top, but the Champions League as the player of the year overall. Baena, oh my days, we've gone past just challenging for the Europa that I did say, to hopefully challenging for Champions League, as there is 3 of our players in the team of the year, including a Svensson out of a position, and getting Europa League in the Championship in our first season did us so many favours, as this is an incredible journey. 10 points off the title, yes I know, to the feeder club Liverpool, but still, Southampton in the Champions League in our first season in the Premier League, and Watford almost won-up to us by winning the FA Cup. No semis, no quarters, no round of 16. Managerless Peterborough in real life. In the first round we entered beat us, and in the Carabao we lost to Leicester, which unfortunately was won by Brentford. They're trying to one-up us now, but Champions League in our 4th season. One of the last rebuilds we did. Actually, no, I'm not going to give the spoiler. It was interesting though. Just like this one, we've got Ivanovic, we've got Baena, and we really need to sign another CDM because Barreiro is now our weakest. Question is though, because we do have Shay Charles on the bench, can this man? Yes, he can be a centre-back. Probably our backup option. And when he's only a backup, you know, the squad is incredibly good, as when we replace him there, we've got Darami and Downs under 80 rated. But I think that's a solid bench, same as the goalkeeper. We've got Wellington at an 80. Kwashi we didn't loan out, but he's gone to a 75. Maybe get more potential out of him in a different save, because we've not got it here. And also this man, Jay Robinson. Now, whenever I do a championship build, remind me of this man. I feel he had so much potential, but just because how rapidly we've grown, we've kind of missed out on him, and missed out on El Basia, who also looked decent, as the budget, £126 million, with the objective of winning the Champions League. Okay, that's a bit of a rush. I don't expect us to do that, really. We just need a CDM this season, and that is literally it. Might go for a tactical tweak. And I know that sounds stupid with how well we're doing, but we've always been on the deep approach. We were 10 points behind Liverpool, so step that up to balanced. Ivanovic is scoring enough, same as Yanders, same as Baena, but Fellows didn't score many last season. Put him on attack instead of build up. Or he could be a man getting replaced. But then again, I don't want to, because he's 85 English. I guess we had the new Diblin all along. Speaking of Tyler Diblin, is he still at Everton? Is he affordable or anything? He's actually made the move to Parma Calcio. Damn, that is a bit rough. Now, in any other rebuild I'd sign him back, but obviously, like I've said all along, we have grown rapidly in this Southampton save, to the point we don't need him, we just need that DM, and I am going to check in the Bundesliga for this man. This is the one I eyed up all along, Felix Nemecha, who I'm sure was at Man City. It's either him or his brother Lucas that played at City, just like Edozie, who we sold quite recently. City and Southampton have a bit of a lock together, so Nemecha for this season. Just like Dortmund robbed us for Svensson, they've robbed us for Nemecha. Now the only position we need is that backup striker to replace Downs. As usually, I'd be selling players to get them in. Yes, we've got a huge squad. Yes, we need to trim it, but 45 mil still. Not Will still, Mill still, Delinga at Bologna still. Tongue twisters all round, as we do get in our backup UCL striker. Okay, not much growth, I've got to be honest, apart from in one man, Baena, 95 overall. I've just realised as well, before I got ill, I did go for a haircut. It looks as if I'm trying to copy him. I swear I'm not. That is merely a coincidence. We've got Ramsdale, we've got Svensson, Loppy, my cheeky chappy, but then Baena is the top scorer. Ivanovic is Mr. Selfish, 0 assists. Nemecha, 20 goals. Glad we brought him in, and then a lot from Yander, and a lot from Tom Fellows, as we should be dominating the Premier League. But who's this Jean Mateo Bahoya? He's dominating with Odebear, Mateus Cunha. I like all the new pictures. Ivanovic down with 17. Sheshko's got a new image. Gyökeres the same. Bayena's there. Okay, we are up there on the lists, as there we go. Third in the Premier League, meaning we are closer to actually winning it. But that's back-to-back UCL finishers with the Saints. And maybe we rode our luck, because every season I've checked the FA Cup, there has been a championship team in there, with Hull City being it this year. However, they always lose in the final, and we always lose to bloody Leicester. Or someone from the championship ourselves, as we lost on penalties to Coventry. But as long as we do it in the Premier League and we do it in the Champions League, I am not bothered. 0 defeats, 8th place. Can we win it again first time round? We avoid that playoff game we needed, and we beat Bayena's ex-club, Atletico de Madrid. But then we ran into the big blockade of Paris Saint-Germain. Oh dear, and we've got Quashi leaving at the start of Season 5. Making me think, did I forget contracts? Please don't tell me I did. Please don't tell me I did. Even clicking the wrong button in panic. But no, everybody's on a year, meaning money's going to run out this year. But then again, I want players to run out, as the budget's gone up 137 million. So we're going to use that additional, what, about 11 million we've got to actually get rid of players. Give them longevity in their career, including Dylan Moody we don't want, Moses Side. I'm going to get rid of, I think, the club captain, Jack Stevens. Going to be sad. Don't really need to sign any players, but need to get some out, including the captain that did take them to the Premier League before. Scored on the opening day of the season. What a player. We're going to release a bunch of these. Even some decent potential ones like Prince will. They're going, leaving this. And leaving nowhere to sign, because on the bench we're all over 80 apart from the backup keeper I am going to be keeping. And we've only spent 3 million on releasing. Okay, 140. What's the aims? Is it going to be win everything? Yes, it is. We've got to win every bloody trophy. Meaning, despite just getting rid of squad depth, we're going to have to get some more in. And I want to go to the team that beat us. I know it's kind of cheating, but Paris Saint-Germain, they've had their success for a while now. And I'm going to take one of these guys here, Willian Pacho. Might cost the majority of our budget, but we were lacking a left footer, so let's get him in, because he should hopefully win the Champions League with us. That's the main aim going into this season. As that drops Charles to the reserves, Barreiro I never actually changed to a centre-back. And it's a good job that I didn't, as Diamande comes out the team. We've got Scalvidia as our captain. As I don't like these graphics not popping up still, we're going to sign the wages of everybody up. Aaron Ramsdale, that is acceptable. As the others, I'm just going to do quickly, and that's actually costing a lot. But we get the majority signed up, including our captain. Alan is staying. And we've got to be winning the Champions League. We've got to be winning it. Only 2 90 rateds, but look how balanced this squad is. This happened in our Panathinaikos save, where we had loads of 87s, 88s, 89s in the middle. Pacho is right there. Got a decent bench and a 95 on the wing with Baena. Diamande on the bench, 89 as well. He can actually go ahead of our captain. Anytime we make a player a captain in a save, they just get replaced. I don't get it. So yeah, we've got 2 90s, a bunch of 89s, and this squad looking very, very good. With Baena grabbing 30 goals. Look at the rating. I do want to see his stats very quickly. Changed no positions around in a while, but look at them bad boys. Fantastic with Ivanovic 29 goals, Yanda with 23 assists. Gonna be in the team of the year, but I do want to check the team of the year altogether. Meaning league position. Oh my days, that's not good enough. We finished 7th, which at a stretch will be Conference League, but I am going to take into account that last time we did that bad, we actually went and won the Europa League. We finished mid-table in the Championship, shooted up to get into Europe by winning this, which yet again, not a Championship club, but a League One Plymouth reached the final in, and us, yours truly, get beat by a Championship club. In Stoke, as Brentford beat us, and they win the Carabao Cup back-to-back. And at the time of recording this, my club Grimsby Town play Brentford in the Carabao Cup. Not a good sign at all, as we finish top of the Champions League phase, then Inter, Leverkusen, Feyenoord, Leipzig? Not the teams I'd expect. We hammer Monaco 3-1, and then we beat Juventus 7-3. Come on! Como just got beat. They went all the way, and after a 0-0 draw at St. Mary's, the Nou Camp win puts us in the finale as it's first versus second of the league phase, Southampton versus Lombardia. Or Inter. The mod's gone off for the Badgers, but not the kids. The new title update not doing us a favour, as the formation that Will still did start with is the one that Inter try and go at us with. And it's the Olympus Stadion, a tifo with Ramsdale's face on it. Maybe he's forgiven for leaving them on loan to sit on Newcastle's bench after relegation. So come on, we've got to get the win right here. I've just realised in this save I've talked about Panathinaikos, kind of spoiling a video to come. But hey, if you're watching this, just know I've recorded out of order, and that is a spoiler for the future because you guys are the OGs still watching right now. As we play this finale, Nemecha's onside, tries to slide it across. Benjamin Pavard with the blockers now. We're going to try and put the corner in the box. We've got decent centre-backs all around. Nemecha makes Bastoni struggle. Going to get at this free at the back very soon, but now we cannot let them keep it in the centre of midfield. That's where they're going to be good, and they have been good. Esposito on a run into Fede DiMarco in the middle. Lautaro Martinez! The first corner of the game for Inter. It was an easy save for Aaron Ramsdale. He just put it past his post. Maybe didn't need to, but this could be a counter-attack to liven the game up again. Ivanovic goes inside. There's a man at the back of Yanda, but Yanda puts it bottom corner. 1-0 to the Saints. He's tapping the badge. He has been loyal. One of the players we kept all along. Never loaned him out. Never thought about selling him. And he repays the faith that he's not doing Will still in real life, but he does right here. And number 20 across goal. Not to mention keeping Finazaz out the team as we are into the second half. A beautiful time to score that. Ivanovic making an early tackle. Come on, mark up. Because Inter are really dangerous when they counter themselves like they did from one of our corners. But here, we've got them trapped. Or did have them trapped. They've chipped a ball over the top and somehow got on the end of it. That is a brilliant pass. Barella. Nicolo, no. That pass was absolutely lethal. Lautaro Martinez, one moment of quality from either team on a little bit of a counter-attack. You could say our goal was luckier than theirs, so now we are level going into this second half fully. Svensson tries to turn out. Everybody running away and leaving the ball behind them. Come on! Loppi winning the ball back as Ivanovic makes a darting run through the middle. Bastoni, amazing from one of the best centre-backs. That's why they can afford to play 3. But a brilliant ball by Enya! Drills it home! The best player in the world had to get involved somehow for the Saints. That is a brilliant goal to go in front again, and we're getting a head-side view of it. But now they've got the ball back again after he made that tackle just a moment ago. Chip through ball again, and it's worked again. Barella! Big save, Aaron Ramsdale. 3 big chances for them, and only one of them has been scored. Head this away, please. No, Lautaro wins it. Handballs are switched on, and I knew it was going to happen from a corner against us. Diamande won't even bother showing the goddamn replay. So it's Lautaro against the man. Made 2 brilliant saves, Aaron Ramsdale, to make it 3. No need. He's missed the target. He doesn't grab it in this frantic display from both teams, trying to win it, both going all out. And Svensson, what an important tackle here, because he's just going to give it into Bayenya, who could shoot. But we're going to be sensible. Yanda over the top. Can we get another goal? Ivanovic is onside, and Ivanovic seals the game. Beautiful bit of football put together. And in a game we were never actually safe in. That's the best bit of football put together. Kind of meaning we deserve this. Drilled below Brandt. And that means that the Saints will lift the Champions League trophy. Seriously, what a game. What a match. What a lift, and no one deserves this more than Loppi. The amount of slide tackles he made in the game, unreal, and props to Inter. Probably the hardest challenge I've had this year. Yes, they only scored 1 goal against us, but a missed penalty, numerous missed chances. As if I've missed the chance to rebuild your team? Actually, I haven't. Leave them below, and I might get onto them, or click here for a video YouTube recommend you specifically.